जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय ओम विष्णुपाद परम सपरिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती श्रीवेंकटेश्वर एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट जय ओम विष्णुपाद परम सपरिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती श्रीवेंकटेश श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की समवेत भक्त वृंद की all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled devotees, all glorious Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudhirayet. Before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Naranarayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the other, and Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master. Nasta prayesha bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya भगवत्युत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. On this day of 18th April in San Diego, California, USA, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 6, The Demigods and Demons Declare a Truce, and text 39th. Okay. Avaropya girim skandhat suparnah patatam varaha yayau jalanta utsrijya harina visarjitaha avaropya girim skandhat suparnah patatam varaha yayau jalanta utsrijya harinasa visarjitaha avaropya girim skandhat suparnah patatam varaha yayau jalanta utsrijya harinasa visarjitaha avaropya girim skandhat suparnah patatam varaha yayau jalanta utsrijya harinasa visarjitaha avaropya girim skandhat suparnah patatam varaha yayau jalanta utsrijya harinasa vivarjitaha avaropya girim skandhat suparnah patatam varaha yayau jalanta utsrijya harinasa visarjitaha avaropya girim skandhat suparnah patatam varaha yayau jalanta utsrijya harinasa visarjitaha. Anyone online?
Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna, bro.
Yes, what is the verse, please?
Canto 8, Chapter 6, text 39.
39?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to recite. Just give me a second.
Yes, bro.
Yes. Avaropya girim skandhat
avaropya girim skandhat
suparna patatam varaha
suparnah patatam varaha
yayau jalanta utsrijya
yayau jalanta utsrijya
harinasa visarjitaha.
harinasa visarjitaha. Anyone else wants to chant? Okay, we'll go to the synonyms. Avaropya, unloading. Girim, the mountain. Skandhat, from his shoulder. Suparnaha, Garuḍa. Patatam, of all the birds. Varaha, the biggest or most powerful. Yayau, went. Jalante, Jalaante, where the water is. Utsrijya, placing. Harina, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Saha, he. Garuda. Visarjitaha, discharged from that place. Translation and purport by Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, Garuda, the chief of birds, unloaded Mandara mountain from his shoulder and brought it near the water. Then he was asked by the Lord to leave that place and he left. Purport: Garuda was asked by the Lord to leave that place because the snake Vāsuki, who was to be used as the rope for churning, could not go there in the presence of Garuda. Garuda, the carrier of Lord Viṣṇu, is not a vegetarian. He eats big snakes. Vāsuki, being a great snake, would be natural food for Garuda, the chief of birds. Lord Viṣṇu therefore asked Garuda to leave so that Vāsuki could be brought to churn the ocean with Mandara mountain, which was to be used as the churning rod. These are the wonderful arrangements of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nothing takes place by accident. Everyone repeat. Nothing takes place by accident. Carrying Mandara mountain on the back of a bird and putting it in its right position might be difficult for anyone, whether demigod or demon. But for Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything is possible, as shown by this pastime. The Lord had no difficulty lifting the mountain with one hand, and Garuda, his carrier, carried all the demons and demigods together by the grace of the Supreme Lord. The Lord is known as Yogeshwara, the master of all mystic power, because of his omnipotence. If he likes, he can make anything lighter than cotton or heavier than the universe. Those who do not believe in the activities of the Lord cannot explain how things happen. Using words like so-called accident, they take shelter of ideas that are unbelievable. Nothing is accidental. Everything is done by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the Lord himself confirms in Bhagavad Gita, Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Whatever the actions and reactions occur within the cosmic manifestation, all take place under the superintendence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, because the demons do not understand the potency of the Lord, when the wonderful things are done, the demons think that they are accidental. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 8th canto, 6th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Demigods and Demons Declare a Truce. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostade Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhyeva Chapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for giving me an opportunity to speak. After giving my PhD defense, I think I'm again nervous giving a class before the Dravida Prabhu and the senior Vaishnavas. So this is my first Bhagavatam class. So any feedback, please give me. I am your servant. I'll work on improving whatever the mistakes that I commit. So we are in Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are continuing on to the Samudra Manthan Leela. So this is all the setup before entering into the Leela. So I think everyone is following the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam class. So we know that Indra has been cursed by Durvasa Muni because he did not offer respects to the garlands that were given by Durvasa Muni, and then he gave it to the divine elephant Airavata and trampled on it. So he begets the curse because of not respecting the offering. And yes, and I think the garland was forgot. No problem, it's okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Good thing I revised. Yeah. So, continuing with the, then the demigods were defeated by the demons, and then they all, the classic, the demigod response to protect their positions, and they are continuing their duties. They go to the their supervisor Brahmaji, and then Brahmaji goes to Kshirodaksha Viṣṇu and then offer prayers, and like Supreme Personality of Godhead Viṣṇu gives so on and so forth instructions to the demigods and demons in order to churn the milk ocean and get the elixir, ambrosia or nectar from it, and so on. He gives so many instructions. And in the one of the thing is to churn the milk ocean, you need a churning rod and a rope. So we are seeing this chapter, the demigods and demons come to a truce, and this is the last verse of this chapter. So basically, before what happened, so they were trying to bring the Mandara mountain into the milk ocean, and because it's so heavy, many of the demons and some of the demigods got trampled under it, and some of them died. But Supreme Personality of Godhead Viṣṇu comes on the back of Garuda and revives some of them, and he himself takes the Mandara mountain. It's another pastime of lifting the hill after what we witnessed with Krishna with the Govardhan hill. And then he places on Garuda, and he places all the demigods, demons, and he himself gets on the Garuda, and then he places the mountain in the water, near the water. This is what Avaropya Girim Skandhat Yayau Jalanta Utsrijya. So it is left in the Jalanta, and he ordered Garuda to leave. So this is the story, what is going on. So here, this purport, Prabhupada very clearly tells why Garuda was instructed to leave after leaving the Mandara mountain, because the great snake Vāsuki has to come. I told the churning rod is this mountain, and the rope is actually Vāsuki snake. And so for Vāsuki snake to be there, Garuda, if Garuda is there, it gets afraid and it won't be there. So that's why Garuda was instructed to leave. So Prabhupada mentions many nice points in this purport. So before going to that, so going through the importance of the going through the verses and purports of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada mentions in Isopanishad, invocation and introduction discussion, where he says the Vedic scriptures are like mother. So why Srila Prabhupada mentions that Vedic scriptures are like mother? Because so if a baby is born and if it wants to know who its father is, there is a way of checking the DNA test of all the males in that country or state or so on, and comparing with it, and then coming to conclusion who father is. Or there is a more straightforward way of asking the mother to show who father is. So mother points at the father, the baby knows who the father is. So in the Vedic circles, Vedic scriptures or Veda Mata or Upanishads are called Upanishad Mata. They are referred to as mother because they point towards father. So in the scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam and the Vedic scriptures, the Uttama Sloka Gunanuvaranane, there will be the descriptions of the pastimes of the Lord in Uttama Sloka, that is the choiced poetry, and also by Uttama Sloka devotees, that is these Paramahamsa Vaishnavas or the mahābhāgavata devotees, where their qualities are glorified and it's discussed, so that the practicing sadhakas like us can learn from them, and also listening to those pastimes can purify our existence and perfect our life. So this is why these pastimes are very useful for our progress in spiritual life. So today's class, though because in the purport we see like Garuda is being one of the main like the servant of the Lord who is assisting in Lord's pastime, we'll go through the glories and pastimes of Garuda actually. So as a devotee of Sri Radha Giridhari, so whenever we are doing Tulsi Puja or Guru Puja or to the deities, when after offering the incense sticks, ghee lamp, flower, cloth, whatever the articles that we are offering, we offer to Garuda. After offering to the Srila Prabhupada, we are also offered to Garuda. So we see that Garuda is a great devotee of Lord Hari. And anytime there is a temple of Krishna or like any of the Vishnu avatars, so we see that Garuda sits with the folded hand and always in the mood of the servant, which also he stands an example as how the practicing sadhaka should be there. So though Garuda keeps coming in many of the verses, especially last chapter, before like 2-3 chapters, we have seen the prayers of Gajendra. At the end, when Gajendra was fighting with the crocodile, and after giving up its own effort of fighting, and because of its jajapa paramam japyam, by remembering the previous life's its practice, so when it gave the offerings of glorifications to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we saw that Lord Hari came on the Garuda. Sontah sarasyurubalena gruhita arto utkshipya gruhita arto. What is the next one? Sontah sarasyurubalena gruhita arto. Okay. Sorry. Here it says, yeah. Sonta Saras Urubalena. Check for Urubalena. It's in the so in the prayers it says when it is fighting with the crocodile. Gajendra prayers. So it says, yeah. Yeah. So it says Garutmati Harim Sa Upatta Chakram. So Garuda sees Hari coming on the Garuda back with the wielded disc. So and then it offers the lotus from the pond, saying Utkshipya Sambhujakaram. By offering the lotus to the Lord, Grihamaha Krichrat Narayana Akila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. So it offers the prayers, Narayana, O Supreme Master of the Universe, like Bhagavan Namaste, like that. So here, so we see that like Hari takes Garuda as his vehicle. So Srila Prabhupada mentions that Garuda is the mahābhāgavata devotee of the Lord, and also Prabhupada also in the one of the third canto verses describes that when Garuda flaps its wings, then the prayers of Samaveda comes out of the wings of Garuda. And in one of the letters, Prabhupada instructs while painting that Hare Krishna Mahamantra is essence of Samaveda. So please paint like when Garuda is flapping its wings, then Hare Krishna Mahamantra is coming out of the wings. So in last chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, we see that when all the demigods are offering Yasyantam Navidus Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha, there we see that all the demigods offer the prayers of Sangha Padakrama Upanishad, like that they offer, like that. So Lord gets pleased when he hear the verses of Samaveda or Hare Krishna Mahamantra, as Prabhupada said. So that's that pure devotee is Garuda. So Garuda's history is not there in Srimad Bhagavatam, but the opening of Mahabharata in the Adiparva itself, the story of Garuda will be there. I will quickly go through the story of Garuda, so how he became the vehicle of Lord Viṣṇu and so on. So there is a story like how there is a progenitors like Prajapatis, like that. Kashyapa is one of the progenitors. He is also a Brahmana who does tapasya and all. We've seen the cantos of Daksha where he gives 13 wives, and with each of the wife he creates one species like birds and all that. So out of 13 wives of Daksha, there are 2 wives who is Vinata and Kadru. So they are all chaste wives who serves Kashyapa Prajapati and also Kashyapa Rishi, you can say, in his austerities and the practices that he is performing. And Vinata and Kadru pleased Kashyapa, and Kashyapa offers each of them is a boon. So since you are also wanting children, so I will give you 2 options. Either choose 1,000 of the like snakes as offsprings, or only 2 children as the most powerful people who are powerful than the snakes. So Kadru chooses the 1,000 snakes as offsprings, and Vinata chooses the 2. Actually, the way Vinata asks is, I want 2 children who should be powerful than these 1,000 snakes. They should have greater size and greater prowess as well. So this co-wives katha, how it will add to the divine plan, we will see. So Kashyapa granted boon and retired for forest, but before retiring to the forest, he gives the instruction that please be careful about your embryos that I have given you. So then Kashyapa retires, he returns to the forest and goes for the penance. So after a long time, for thousands of years, then Kadru's eggs, the 1,000 eggs will hatch, and snakes, the 1,000 snakes will come. But Vinata's eggs won't hatch. So she keeps looking at it, but it won't hatch. Days after days, months after months pass, it won't. But the snakes are growing, and Kadru is having nice motherly time. So Vinata gets a bit impatient and breaks one of the conch shell to see what's going on. Did he give a defective eggs before my husband leaves or so? So she breaks the embryo. So there, a half-formed, effulgent personality. He's so effulgent, but only until waist he has a body like a human being. Until it's just below it, it's just a lump of flesh. So this is Aruna. So he is the first child. So Aruna opens his eyes and he says, Mother, what a grave mistake you have done. You have broke the egg before it getting matured. So he curses Vinata that because you are not having patience, you have to take slavery until, like under your co-wife for some time. But then he gets pacified. It's a natural thing for a mother to get anxiety and does something. He tells, okay, it is for just a temporary period of time. You can overcome this curse by waiting patiently for my other brother that is going to be there in the other egg, and he will relieve you and myself and everyone from this curse, from these things, from this slavery, like that he says. So this time, so Vinata will not touch the other egg, and it is put in a warm vessel, and like years and years are going on. It's about like so many years happening. So approximately 500 years later, 500. That's said in this is I'm referring to Purna Prajna Prabhu's Srimad Mahabharata, and also Bir Krishna Goswami Maharaj's lecture. So when Kadru and Vinata were just hanging in the courtyard, there is a celestial steed or horse called Uchchaishrava, which comes on its own will, and it comes at random places. We will see in the next churning of the milk ocean that it is one of the byproduct of the churning, Uchchaishrava. It's a white horse, and they look at Uchchaishrava and amazed at the beauty, and Vinata and Kadruva, they are looking at it, and Vinata says, what a celestial horse it is. It is pure white in color, it says. And so there is a tension between the co-wives, and Kadru hesitatingly tells, yeah, it is all white, and then that steed jumps and it goes to another place. It disappears from there. And Kadru cannot completely agree with whatever like Vinata says. He says, yeah, it's totally white, but it's not entirely white. Its tail is in black color, it says. It's a white horse but a black tail. Vinata says, no, it's a pure white horse. Everything will be white. So they both are like saying like this, and they say, do you want to bet? So the bet, what they do is, let us go and check what the Ucheshrava is, and if whoever is correct, then the other person has to be slave for her. Like the dharma is, if you are slave, your kids and everyone will be in slavery. So, okay, tomorrow morning we'll go. I know exactly where Ucheshrava will be there. Like that they decide and they retire to their houses. But Kadru knows that Ucheshrava is a pure white horse and she has a doubt. This tail might not be in a black color. So then it calls all its 1,000 snakes and says that I have bet against my co-wife. I will do anything than to be a slave of her. So you have to go and cover the tail of snake and appear in the black color, she says. These 1,000 snakes get so upset and they actually says, no, we are not going to do that. Because it's deceiving Mother Vinata, I am not going to do that. Then Kadru, out of angry, she curses the 1,000 snakes that you will burn in fire and destroy if you don't listen. Like that she curses. So then immediately Kashyapa Prajapati is on Gandhamadana mountain meditating. He knows that his sons have been cursed. He is immediately about to get up, but Brahmaji calls Kashyapa to his kingdom and Brahma says, Kashyapa, you don't interfere. Even Kadru is also a chaste wife and also a pious wife. Though she is uttering this curse, it is for the good of the world. It's by the divine plan what is going on. The sons of the Kadru are the powerful snakes. If they have long life or if they are there for a great number, the human beings cannot live, or other living beings it cannot be, because they will get poisoned soon. Like that. So Kashyapa Prajapati will be cooling down and he again retires into tapasya. So so this the curse and all, a divine play is going on, so everyone is okay with it. Then so Vinata and Kadru next day morning gets up and goes to the other side of the Garbhodaka ocean where the Ucheshrava is grazing over the field, and then they try to take a look. This already cursed snake kids, they thought, okay, she might let us pacify her and she might be pacified and that curse might be lifted. So in order to not enrage her Kadru mother more, they go and they actually circle around the Ucheshrava's tail and then see, I said, it's black in color, Kadru shows. So Vinata agrees defeat. So Vinata becomes the slave of Kadru. So now the other egg which she is storing hatches, and from that egg, because it was there for like thousands of years and it bore the tejas of Kashyapa Prajapati, so it is effulgent as fire. A powerful personality came, effulgent as fire, and it can assume any form and he can travel across 3 worlds easily, and that is none other our Vainateya Garuda. So this is the Garudaji's birth. So when Garuda is born, he has so much power and he so much effulgence, so it's like fire coming out of him. So the demigods seeing this blazing fire, so praise Agni. They thought it's Agni Dev, again got mad or something. So that's why they are praying to Agni, but Agni comes from the other direction and says, I am answering your prayers. It's not me, it's our Kashyapa's son. He is Vainateya, he is a son of Vinata and Kashyapa. Because Vinata is a very pious and chaste wife and Kashyapa is a very powerful rishi, so even the Garuda, the Vainateya is very powerful. So in parallelly, when everyone is explaining and they were about to go to meet Vainateya, there is a parallel thing going on. The Surya, who is the sun god, there is a Rahu who is trying to attack Surya. So in a material reflection of what this fight is, Earth, Sun and Moon, when they are revolving and rotating and so on, there will be 2 nodes. One node is Rahu, one node is Ketu basically. So they say that they are in fight with each other. So spiritual story is, so the Rahu comes and attacks Surya, but none of the demigods speak anything. This time Surya gets so mad. So when I am in trouble, why is no one is supporting me? Then he starts increasing his effulgence more and more. So there is a great heat wave that hit the earth, and all the living beings are almost at the verge of death. So then Brahmaji immediately addresses demigods and says, we need to pacify Surya. There is a solution. Kasyapa's first son, like Vinata's first son, Aruna, he is so effulgent. Let us give him as a gift to Surya Deva and install him on the chariot, like a charioteer. Since he has no legs, because he has only body and waist. So that's why for Aditya, for the Surya Dev, the charioteer is Aruna. So he'll ask, let us give that, and he will absorb all that harmful effulgence coming from the Surya Dev. So they will all go pacify Surya and install Aruna there. So like that, Aruna gets the permanent position as the serving the Aditya, like the Surya as the charioteer. So now the one who goes and installs Aruna is his own dear brother Garuda. So so Garuda installs his brother. So now Vinata and Garuda are like, Garuda, he don't get the name Garuda yet. So he is just Vainataya now. So they both are under the slavery of Kadru and her sons. So Kadru will go to the, like if suppose some airlines have given you a free ticket, like, you can go anywhere, you will choose the farthest place as possible, where you can't buy with your own money. So like that, Kadru will sit on Vinata, and all the 1,000 sons will sit on Garuda, and they keep roaming around the different universes. And so one time, Vainataya gets so angry, not because he is being used as a servant, but his mother's indignation. He gets angry, and when she asked to go some other place, he goes very closer to the sun, so that the snakes get like they keep falling off from the Garuda, and some of them is almost dead. Then Kadru understands and then prays for Indra, and Indra is brothers of these, like because of Kashyapa and all that. So Indra immediately showers rain and somehow pacifies the situation. But she understands, okay, we are doing it a bit too much, like that. But anyway, so then Garuda comes, the Vainataya comes and asks, what is this slavery? So Vinata tells that we were being deceived by Kadru's sons. She knows that it was a deception that were put through. So then this time Garuda goes to the cousins, the sons of the 1,000 snakes, and tells, what should I do so that you will release us from the slavery of Kadru on yourself? What can we do to free my mother? Like that he asks. He tells, we are interested in getting the elixir, the Amrutam, so that then you are relieved. So the elixir, one part will be there in the abode of Indra, where it is like there is like so many things protecting it, and so Garuda starts going to obtain the nectar. So in the process of obtaining and going to the abode of Indra and obtaining nectar, there are a lot of power upgrades that Garuda goes through. Like he goes through different islands on the instruction of Kashyapa and his mother Vinata. And so she tells. So in that process, once Garuda, he has to consume a lot of food because he's very mighty and very like a strong person. So there is once when he sits on one of the trunk of a big tree, the tree offers like resting on it. Then it's one of the branch will break, and then Garuda understands that this is I mistakenly broke, and he was about to throw it, but then he sees 60,000 small Lilliput-sized rishis called as Valakilyas are meditating upside down on the branch of that tree. Yeah, like very small. They are like the Mahabharata says they are size of a thumb, and because of they are very small, so they are hanging upside down and they are in tapasya. So then Garuda immediately hangs on it, and he waits for some years actually. He doesn't know where to put it because they are hanging upside down. If he mistakenly does something, they will be disturbed or something. Then he will immediately fly to Gandhamadana mountain and ask his father there. So Kashyapa prays to those Valakilyas and then they wake up from that, and then he pacifies them. They get down from the trunk, and because you are holding us like 60,000 weight is heavy, and because of their tapasya and all, they are heavier than usual. Because you are capable of having a heavy strength, and also in future for coming time you will bear the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's why you will be called from now as Garuda. That's the name Garuda was given. And they also give all the strength of their tapasya to Garuda. So there is a pastime. Indra actually messes up with these Valakilyas, and then Valakilyas were about to produce another Indra just because they offended them, because they will make fun of their size when they are doing service together. So Valakilyas actually tries to make another Indra. But again Kashyapa, that time it was happened before, he comes and tells, you guys cool down, because Brahmaji wants to, there is an order to the universe. So there is already Indra, please don't break that order. So they will wait to give that power to someone else, and they gives all that to Garudaji. So like that Garuda gets more power, and now he heads to the demigod planet and the Indra's planet, and there he starts a heavy fight with the demigods. And Indra sends all his powers of Varuna, Agni, everyone, but effortlessly Garuda will fight them and win them. So he gets the nectar back, and he was about to come back and give to the Kadruva. Then Sri Mahavishnu appears before Garuda, and he says, I am observing all that is going on. And Vishnu was very much pleased with Garuda, because he, without any selfless way of releasing his mother, and also he is taking a regular guidance from his father Kashyapa, and also the valor and courage displayed, and also while bringing the nectar back, he is not interested in taking something for himself. By all these qualities exhibited by Garuda, so Vishnu was very much pleased, and he said, please be my vehicle, like that he asked. Then he asked, do you have any other boon? Since I am already below you as your vehicle, can I get a boon that I want to be above you as well? So above Vishnu. So above and below he wants to be. So below as a vehicle he will be. So above, how Vishnu satisfies that boon is, you will be on my flagstaff. So during the Mahabharata war, we see Hanuman is on the flag of Arjuna, but Krishna's chariot will have Garuda as his flagstaff. The story is here. And now, so he got the permanent position, as this permanent servitude to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He brings back the pot of Amrita or elixir back. But Indra, as a last attempt, he throws Vajrayudha, but it will be like some needle or something like that, pinch. But Vainateya, Garuda, tells that I don't want to offend the great Dadichi's sacrifice through your thunderbolt that you have given. So because of that, he gives off some feathers, saying that, okay, this weapon has affected me. Like that he gives. So from Garuda, the feathers that were fallen are so golden and effulgent in color. That's why Indra bestows his name Suparna. In the verse he is addressed as Suparna. So this is the story behind Garuda getting Suparna. Also Vinata is also called as Suparna. So these are some of the pastimes of Garuda. And then how the story goes is, Indra continues, since he cannot defeat Garuda, he extends friendship with Garuda, and then they'll bring the pot, but before, his snakes will release Vinata and Garuda from the slavery, and they were about to take elixir. They will go take bath and come, like how Charanamrita also we take in a very fresh bath afterwards and all that. So like that they go, and before taking bath and coming and taking the elixir, Indra will come and he takes the pot and goes away. So the snakes won't get the elixir, and Garuda and Vainata will be freed. So Garuda from then, this is one of the pastimes. Of course, he is an eternal servant of the Lord. So here Prabhupada mentions that all the wonderful pastimes that Supreme Personality of Godhead does. So there is a verse in Padyavali with which I will conclude these pastimes of Garuda, where because Prabhupada is mentioning that Lord can make anything lighter than cotton or heavier than universe, in the beginning verses of Padyavali there is one sloka. Ambodhi sthalatam sthalam jaladitam dhulilava sailatam sailomrutkanatam Vahni himam dahanatam vahni sitalatam. Like that. I'll tell what are these two lines means. So the Krishna's pastimes are wonderfully playful and mischievous. How they are? He can make Ambodhi sthalatam. He can make a great ocean into a flat land. And sthalam jaladitam. He can flood a flat land with oceans. And dhulilava sailatam, he can take a dust particle and turns into mountain. And sailomrut kanatam, he can take a mountain and turn into a dust particle. And vahne sitalatam himam dahanatam, he can make ice hotter and fire colder, like that. Ayati yasyechaya, ayati is ityadi, etc. Yasyechaya leela dur lalitad bhuta vyasanine krishnaya tasmai namaha, that verses. That is like this, Krishna performs yasyechaya by his own sweet free will, like and this wonderfully dur lalitad bhuta vyasanine. So lalita means delicate, but Krishna's pastimes are wonderfully mischievous and playful, and those are the pastimes of the Lord. And so that's all I wanted to tell, like some pastimes of Garuda and discuss some points in the. Get a mic. Thank you so much. Anyone have any questions or comments?
I can't say it until the mic comes.
Okay, bro. Yes.
Everyone meditate for 30 seconds.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. So there is Yogeshwara mentioned. So we know that Yogeshwara is mentioned also. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Pardo Dhanurdhara, Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhuti Dhurvani Tirma Tirmama.
So my question is this. I was a little confused because in the Bhagavatam, my impression was that the nectar came after the churning and after the drinking of the poison, and all these other things came out first, right? I mean, the moon came out and Lakshmi came out and Airavata came out.
Yeah.
But you're saying that the nectar was in a pot. So
Yes.
Maybe I missed how did that nectar get in the pot?
So there are paradoxes when it comes to these stories. One example I will tell. In the story I have said, we will see that Kadruva and Vinati sees Uchchaishrava. But Uchchaishrava is a product of churning of milk ocean. But to churn milk ocean, Mandara mountain was brought by Garuda. So he is already servant of Lord. So how is that possible? Garuda is not born yet before the Vinata's curse. So these are though the time is cyclic and these pastimes keep repeating, and so that is one of the, yeah. So this nectar might be from the previous, there are some, yeah.
So there's still, the churning is going to happen.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And of course it's going to sink unless Kurma comes.
Kurma comes, yeah. We'll wait for the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes in another avatar.
One thing I forgot to mention yesterday's class that was interesting is that Bali, this is of course, Vamana hasn't come yet, this is before. So he's the head of the demons, and the demons all get cheated. So Bali gets cheated again.
Yeah.
You know, and then again he gets cheated. But
Yes.
despite all of this cheating, he surrenders.
Yeah.
So that shows his advancement.
Yes.
That's why he's a Mahajan.
Yeah. He's a gentleman, yes. Mahajana. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice, bro.
Thank you for that account.
So, as I told, Yogeshwara is mentioned. One is Bhagavad Gita verse. Is there any other verse where Yogeshwara is mentioned? Can anyone recollect? With this verse, we'll finish off. Nice glorification.
Try to find one.
It's in prayers of Queen Kunti. At the end, she says, Sri Krishna Krishna Saka Vrishni Rishabhavani Dhrug Rajanya Vamsadahana Napavarga Virya Govinda Godvija Surarti Haravatara Yogeshwara Khila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. This is another time where Yogeshwara, the master of mystics, is mentioned in the verse. So that's all. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
I have a brief comment, if I may.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So, thank you for
wonderful litany of pastimes. These will be on my mind throughout the entire day.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful. I have one request, and this is not directed at you, it's directed at all speakers of the Bhagavatam. It is an impersonal pronoun. And so when we refer to something in the Bhagavatam as being said, it's very helpful if we remember that it's a series of conversations. And instead of saying it says, we say he or she said, and we think of the person who actually uttered that verse. That's all. And
Okay.
it makes it more personal, makes our minds more involved in the pastimes. We can all meditate that way. on the
Sure, Prabhu.
personality.
Sure. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah.
Hare
Thanks.
Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
I have a question.
Okay, Prabhu. Yes.
Yeah, do you mind reading again the last sentence of the purport?
Yes, Prabhu. Whatever the is that whatever the actions or however from there? However, because the demons do not understand the potency of the Lord, when the wonderful things are done, the demons think that they are accidental.
Yes, that is the quote. Thank you very much, you're most kind. Dandavat pranams. Prabhu, based on this quote, my question would be, if there are no accidents in the plan of the Lord, how do you explain the existence of so much suffering in the material world? That would be my question. Or in other words, is it that the suffering that we see in the material world is also not accidental?
So, you understood the question, no? So, to repeat Prabhu's question, I think the Lord Prabhu is asking. So, Prabhuji is saying here, demons think that they are accidental. If there is no accidents, then is the sufferings of the material world, and how can someone explain it? Here, accident refers to any creations or like anything that is happening in the world is without any purpose is what accident refers. So that means there are some atheistic ideas of like say creation is just a random thing. It's because of some interaction of matter and energy. If we are approaching the universe or like anything like that, for example, in biology, there is a whole study on abiogenesis. That is, life did not come from life. They try to study if it is coming from the DNA or like the cells coming from the inorganic substances and so on in the ocean earth interface and so on. So these are all like whatever happens, they do not see a God's hand behind it. So it is termed as accident. So demons who, if they do not agree to this concept of accident, they have to accept that Lord is behind Sutre Manigana Iva. He is like the underlying principle of all the things that is happening in the universes. So they have to surrender to the Lord. Because of their rebellious nature and envious nature, they term, even though everything is happening by the energies of the Lord, they think they are accidental. So accidental is in the terms. The suffering and the subsequent creation of the material world where the living beings come, this is not accident, it's by the free will. So there is a free will of a living being, of a jiva, and so by jiva's choices the consequences are there. It's actually the opposite of accident. There is a very systematic design of like according to your desires, how you can take births, in what universes and what circumstances. There is a whole architecture and design that was there just for whatever the consequence that we are facing. So that is something.
Yes, Prabhu, your answer just reminded me of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita chanting to Arjuna that if you do not follow my instructions, you will be lost.
Okay. Yes. Very nice, Prabhu. Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.